So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Today's topic is dedicating to why does volunteering matter. My name is Lena, and I'm truly glad to have you all here. I would like to start by not only welcoming you to our second webinar in our series, which is organized by the Project Unity and Diversity, but it's also organized in a cooperation with Erasmus Student Network of the Czech Republic and supported by European Union as with the other partners. Before we begin, I just want to remind you this webinar is being recorded and the full recording will be uploaded afterwards to the ESN Erasmus Student Network Czech Republic profile on the YouTube. So for those who are joining us live, there's a little bonus also. You will have the opportunity to receive a certificate of participation. To get this certificate, please make sure to fill our feedback form that will be shared with you at the end of the session. So now all technicalities details are out of the way, so we can move to our topic for today, volunteering. What it means, also what it creates, and why we should pay attention to it. But I would like to start with a simple imagination exercise. So please, close your eyes for a minute and, think about what if there weren't any volunteers in this world. Because to have a better understanding of what volunteering is, we also have to think a little bit outside of the box. So now, when you picture a world without volunteers, what is it? This world where, in time of crisis, no one would bring food to isolated members. No one would organize blood drives or community collections. This world would be without school assistants, after-school clubs. They would definitely disappear. Local parks, for example, would be overgrown because no one would take care of them. A world where people live side by side but hardly know each other. So they would be disconnected, busy and lonely perhaps. So in the end, it sounds like a little bit of dystopia, doesn't it? And yet, we often forget the small things that make life warmer. The festivals, the mentoring, the shared activities. All of this exists only because of the volunteers. So today we are going to explore what disappears when volunteering is no longer among us, and why volunteers and volunteer organization are one of the most strongest and most hopeful parts of any community. So the question is, what we would lose if there would be no volunteer? Without volunteers, communities would slowly fall apart. It's volunteers who organize neighborhood festivals, coordinate local events, take care of public spaces, and even though can run youth clubs and sport groups. They bring people together not because they are paid to, but because they care about where they live. So, for example, according to the Czech Statistical Office, 85% of volunteers in the Czech Republic help directly in their local areas. 23% of them focus specifically on developing their community, whether it's cleaning a park, running a culture center, or teaching kids new skills. Without these people, our towns and villages would become isolated, impersonal, and disconnected. So communities aren't built by institutions. They are built by people who dedicate to take actions together. And this is the reason why we all are here today. Volunteering, therefore, isn't just about the service itself. It's about belonging. Another area that would suffer deeply without volunteers is social support. Volunteers stand behind countless projects that support people in need. Elders, homeless people, refugees, people with disabilities, or anyone who feels excluded because of their identity of life situation. Many volunteer organizations create safe spaces, places where people feel accepted, valued, and supported, to be seen, to be heard. Think about, for example, the COVID-19 pandemic. Tens of thousands of volunteers stepped up across the Czech Republic. They sewed face masks, delivered groceries, helped in hospitals and care homes, or simply called isolated seniors to talk. All of these people were the groundbreaking support for our systems here. None of this was required, but all of it mattered. Without volunteers, thousands of people would have been left alone, not only without the help, but also without the hope. So volunteering is not just a replacement for social service. It's a human bridge that fills the emotional and relational gaps that institutions cannot simply reach. So volunteering is not only about helping people, as I said, but also about protecting the world we live in. Every year, hundreds of thousands of volunteers take part in environmental projects, planting trees, cleaning rivers, caring for animals, or restoring public parks. For example, in the Czech Republic, the popular initiatives like Let's Clean Up Czechia gathered more than 300,000 participants each year. Thanks to them, tons of waste are removed and local ecosystems are given a second chance. Without them, our environment would be neglected, our cities would lose their color, and future generations would inherit a dirtier, colder world. As the saying goes, it's not just the litter we leave behind, but the values we leave behind that matter. So, and the volunteers are the ones leaving the right values behind. So volunteering develops something our world desperately needs, which is empathy. People who volunteer learn to understand each other, to listen, to cooperate, and to take responsibility. So, for example, the recent research shows that 45% of volunteers say they understand people from different backgrounds better thanks to their own experience. So right now we are also talking about volunteering as a bridge and safe space. In every city and village, there are projects that connects people who would otherwise never met. Through volunteering, strangers can become our neighbors, and differences become opportunities for learning. It's also a safe space, a place where you can be yourself, share your story, and find others who care about the same things. So volunteering teaches tolerance, cooperation, and empathy, not through the theory, but through real experiences. So in the end, it brings really desperately needs soft skills we are talking about so much these days. It shows us that helping others is also a way of learning to live together. In Czech Republic, more than 1.6 million people volunteer every year. That's about 1 in 5 adults who gives their time without expecting any payment. Behind those numbers are millions of moments of connections, of conversations, a shared laugh, a gesture of kindness. So in the end, volunteering connects people who might never otherwise cross paths. A student and a refugee, a retiree and a teenager, a local resident and an international volunteer. It shows us that we all have something to give, and by the giving, we gain a stronger, kinder community in return. So let's take a closer look at a few Czech projects that embody this idea of connection. For example, Mike Act, which is organization based in Prague, runs workshops and community events bringing together residents with immigration backgrounds and local citizens. Their project, Together for Prague, helps newcomers engage in civic life and becoming active members of their communities. Also, this can help out to refugees to find someone they can turn to if they need if they are in a need. Next project is called Pontes. This one focuses on youth volunteering and international exchanges. It connects young people from across whole Europe and builds a network of volunteers who support local initiatives, learning that community doesn't stop at national borders. The last one on this slide is the World 21. This project works with minorities, foreigners, and the Roma community. It promotes education, integration, and intercultural dialogue, creating spaces of understanding and acceptance. So these 3 examples shows us that volunteering doesn't just help, it heals divides and gives people a place to belong. Another three examples are also pretty lovely. INEX SDA is a project through which international and local work camps can connect volunteers from all around Europe with the small towns across the Czech Republic. So it's not only helping to create communities, but also to share our culture and also to showcase our small cities and culture heritage. So people live and work there, share experiences, and support local communities. LGBT plus Lives Gets Better Together is an initiative of Prague Pride project that strengthens the LGBTQAI plus community through education, peer support, and community events. Just like this, it creates safe spaces where everyone can express themselves freely and feel seen and safe. And Among Us, the last one on this slide, this is a wonderful initiative which connects elders people with the children through creative workshops, storytelling sessions, and intergeneration meetings in schools. So the elders join the kids in a school during their classes. They are working together, collaborating. So this is the perfect example of the bridge between the generations. It breaks stereotypes and keeps seniors active and appreciated. So all of these projects remind us that volunteering is about connections, not just between the volunteers themselves, but between the people. They are in a contact with the volunteers, between generations and ideas. So I would like to also point out a few key facts during conclusion of mine. So for example, in 2023, over 1.6 million people in Czech Republic volunteered, as I mentioned. That's around 19% of the population aged 15 and above. So in the end, around 56% of them volunteered through organized programs or NGOs. So if we're going to switch this into the numbers, this is pretty interesting, because the economic value of this volunteer work is incredible 47 billion Czech crowns per year. So beyond the numbers, volunteering also brings invisible benefit, not only for us, but also for the government and NGOs. And also it strengthens the trust, increases the well-being, and builds social capital. So volunteering is the quiet strength of our society, which deserves to be recognized. Without it, many of the things that make life meaningful simply wouldn't exist. But because of those who give their time, their skills, and their hearts, everything is possible. So volunteering helps people, strengthens communities, protect nature, and keeps our democracy alive. So each of us can contribute in our own way, by helping, by mentoring, by organizing, and by simply showing up on these events to support those who initiate it. So today, I invited you to think what wouldn't exist without volunteer. So I think we can all of us can, rethink this idea, and every time when we are walking through our cities, through our university campuses, we can think about this. What would have been lost without someone who simply cared? And then we can also do something to make sure it continues to exist. As I promised to you in the beginning, anyone who would like to show up for this webinar and support the initiative of Unity in Diversity project can receive a certificate of participation. So if you would like to receive the certificate, please scan this QR code on the screen and fill up our short feedback form. After we are going to receive your answers, we can send you a certificate on your email address. I will leave this slide here for the next couple of minutes, so you're going to have the opportunity to do just like that. And the certificates can be sent only to those who joined our live streaming right now. Thank you. I would like to close up this short webinar, which was dedicated to better understanding what is volunteering about and why we should care and why we should focus on this initiative in our future. Thank you so much.